Go ahead and call the Public Works meeting to order. There's been a request to allow remote participation from Chairman Ozog under Section 7A of the Open Meetings Act. Pursuant to Section 7A of the Open Meetings Act, the quorum of the members of the public body is physically present as required by Section 2.01. A majority of the public body may allow the member to attend the meeting by other means if the member is prevented from physically attending because of illness. Okay, illness. Is there a motion to allow?
Second.
Member Ozog. Okay, there's a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Member Ozog, you're in charge now.
Thank you, Mr. Zay. I apologize. I was in New York visiting my son this weekend and I face planted and cracked my eyebrow open. I have 15 stitches and I was advised to stay home for a few days since I managed to get back from New York. It was a nut job, just crazy, but I'm going to be fine and I appreciate your patience today. So this meeting has been called to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chaplin. Here. Desart. Here. Hart. Ozog.
Here.
Ornatori.
Here.
Zay.
Here.
Okay, let's start with any public comment today.
No.
No? Okay, thank you. Next, I'm going to move for approval of our minutes from the April 19th regular meeting of the Public Works Committee.
Second.
Okay, any comments, changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, I move on a budget transfer, facilities management budget transfer of $488,710 to true up the FY 2022 facilities management county infrastructure budget.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any comments or discussions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, thank you. Next, I move for acceptance of payment of claims, public works and facilities management.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is a sole source. I move for approval of PWP 015822, recommendation for the approval of a contract with Revere Electric Supply Company for Rockwell Automation Software Support SCADA system for the period May 29th, 2022 through May 28th, 2025 for public works and stormwater management. $14,715.75 for stormwater, $44,147.25 to be paid by public works. Competitive bids not suitable for competitive bids, sole source.
Second.
Can I have a second? Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Okay. Any comments or discussions on this? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Next, we have requests for travel. I move for approval of authorization for overnight travel. Authorization is requested to have one public works staff member attend the IEPA, IDPH, ERTC Cross Connection Control Training in Springfield, Illinois, July 12th, 2022 through July 15th, 2022 for an approximate amount not to exceed $1,301.50. The course will offer multiple benefits by providing training to the water operator in order to help in the protection process for the potable water supply, while also leading to an enhanced ability to run an efficient to robust cross-connection control program. After successful completion of the course, the employee will be given the authority to perform testing of devices at our county facilities. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments or discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we've got an action item. I'd like to move for approval of adoption of the policy to govern the use of electronic information LED signs, and this would include the sign on County Farm Road. Any comments or discussion? First of all, may I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments, discussions about this? We had spoken about this earlier, but we just want to be sure that this is.
I think I make a comment based on this. There was a Supreme Court opinion that came down yesterday regarding First Amendment speech. I don't think it affects this. It was out of the city of Boston. They had 3 flags outside of their city hall, and they opened it up as you could come in as a group and fly your flag for your presentation. They were restricting it based on a religious exemption, which I don't think applies in this case, but I think we're fine with it, but we will review the case, and if there's anything else, we will happily report back.
I appreciate that. And Nick, I think we'll be sure to turn off the flag option on the LED sign, and we'll make sure that we follow our policy here.
We're restricting speech from the beginning. I think Boston's problem was they
Right.
You want to
anyone
restrict people's right to speak from the beginning.
from the
not-
beginning,
oh.
yes, so it's across the board.
That doesn't sound good.
Okay, perfect. That's-
This is a board for public information related to the county. That's what we're using it for, so that's what we'll stick to. Okay, any comments or discussion? Do I have a second?
Second.
You do.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any old business? Any new business? Okay, hearing, I'm sorry.
Short presentation for the committee on our Nordic treatment plant.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not written down here. Sorry.
No, it was kind of a last minute thing. Sorry about that.
Oh, I knew about it, but I need it in front of me. So please go ahead. This is great. Thank you. We're going to have an update on what's going on at Nordic. I was out there last week and it looks fantastic. It's really moving along well. So show us. Thank you.
Yep, so the project is going well. Wendy, you can go to the next slide, please. As you know, we started this about a year ago. This is updating about a 50-year-old plant that was built in the 1950s. It's about a $12 million project. It's funded by the IEPA. We got a real low interest rate. I think we're at like 1.4 on that interest rate approximately. So that's a pretty good rate. Tough little project, only because of the wetlands. You can see the purple area kind of shows the wetlands on the property. The green is the floodplain. And then the yellow is the floodway. So we actually had floodplain right in the middle of our plant. So we were a little bit vulnerable. I've never seen it flood in over 35 years, but it was definitely time to upgrade the plant. It reached the end of its life for sure. So next slide, please. So this is what the plant's going to look like when it's new. A little bit smaller footprint, but as you can see, we're building it exactly where the old plant is. So that it really complicated it in addition to the floodplain and wetlands issues. We are making some really good improvements to the site. It does border the Itasca Park District. You have a dog park right to the west of it. So all the people that come and walk their dogs can see the plant. So we kind of had an eye towards that as we designed it. Things like the clarifiers are going to be up sticking out of the floodplain. We did stamped concrete on there. Turned out really nice. It just adds where normally you don't see a wastewater treatment plant doing these kind of things. We did have an eye towards kind of, as much as you can make a wastewater plant look better, it's hopefully going to look better. Yeah. So we are doing a couple things to improve the energy efficiency of the plant. We can run it remotely. So we updated the SCADA system. We put ultraviolet disinfection into that. So there's no chlorine, no chemicals to dechlorinate before we go back out to the creek. So I thought it was we had an eye towards the environmental impacts of that waterway as well. Next slide, please. This one maybe has a short video on the bottom. Don't mind running that. This is the rendering of the new plant. We started the no sound. Yeah, I didn't put any music or anything.
I have a hum if you want.
Yeah. So that's a shot of the old plant, rendering what it's going to look like new. And then we just kind of fly the drone over the top of it. But we started the site preparation and building demolition last summer. We're projected to have substantial completion by the end of 2022.
The buffer, how that stormwater's come up.
Yeah. So the wetlands is just the top left corner there. So we were able to buffer that really well. Construction right now is currently, it's on time. We're within budget. We were lucky enough, we're kind of out of the ground now with all the unknowns during the construction. All the underground piping is kind of where we had some contingency money on. And we've done really well up to this point. We're out of the ground and you can see we're starting to construct some of the structures above ground. We haven't had a lot of material or equipment supply issues. We've actually been really lucky. The domes for the clarifiers we had to change those. That's the only adjustment that we had to do because the company that makes them actually went out of business. And then all the electrical stuff and everything we've actually got on site. So we feel pretty lucky that we haven't had any issues with material. Next slide. So this is kind of the overall progress. That's the same one, right? Is it the same one? Maybe next one, Wendy. There we go. That has video as well. So that's a shot of the clarifiers with the stamped concrete. They're putting aggregate piles. So we had to put in about 140 of those piles where they drill down. They load it with stone and grout to stabilize the structure. Because we're actually building on top of a lot of the existing components of the plant, the existing foundation. So it's a project I haven't been involved in something like that. I thought it was pretty unique to, we had to stabilize the existing structure and build on top of it because we're adding weight to it. So it's pretty unique project. There's some of they're pumping the concrete into it. Clarifiers, ton of rebar in that thing. So there's 2 clarifiers. Once those get online, which they're almost completed, we should be completed with the pours on those in the next couple of weeks. We'll move over to the new section of the plant and start demoing the existing tanks and things that you saw.
Is that your stamped concrete right there?
It is kind of back in the corner. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like stones put in there.
It's not, but from like the dog park, it looks
Yeah.
pretty neat. You
That's
can't-
like it.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks really good. So, yeah, Mary was out there last week. She kind of walked the plant. She got to see the stamped concrete and all that. So it's looking pretty good. So, any questions on the project?
Also, Sean, it's important to note that the plant has continued operating throughout this whole construction.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've maintained our permit limits. The rain is tough. That's our biggest challenge when we're constructing it because we have half of the filters operating, but it's been operating well. So
yeah,
keep pushing forward and hopefully get it done here by the end of summer.
Sean, sorry for interrupting. Could you maybe detail, because I know the partnership we had with Stormwater on this one was very valuable with the site we have. They were at the public meeting we had, I mean, with the creek, with the bird sanctuary. They've really provided a great partnership on this.
Yeah, I know it's a great point. Early on, the design engineer Trotter kind of identified a ton of complications as far as the impacts of stormwater, the permitting. We were able to bring our staff into that early on in the planning stages, and that made a big difference in actually getting this through permit, holding the contractor accountable. We have a member of the stormwater staff at every one of our construction meetings, and they look at it. So hopefully we're the poster child for how to do a construction project right for stormwater. And the contractor's done a nice job of staying on top of it. Crazy. Well,
Any other comments or questions for Sean? Thank you, Sean. Great presentation. Really appreciate it. Okay. Any other, we did old business, any other new business?
Yes, Member Chaplin.
Member Chaplin, go ahead.
I just wanted to thank Sean Reese. You know, you're just for helping out, you know, you were so responsive to that constituent question and got back to me right away. And I think you went above and beyond. So I just wanted to thank you so much. You guys are really great. So thank you very much.
thank you.
That's all.
And I want to thank Sean and Jay. I got my own hard hat last time I was out there last week. So I really do appreciate that. I should have had it on when I fell in New York. But anyway, I really appreciate the presentation, Sean. Thank you so much. Any other new business? Okay, hearing none. I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Bye, thank you.